Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This isn't the video that I had planned for you this week. I had planned a video talking about how I start my days off when I'm feeling kind of sluggish and how I get myself up and out of bed into school and on to my day. But lately I haven't been able to do that, and I kind of felt like a fraud talking to you about all of these amazing self-care things that you can do when lately I haven't been doing them myself. I also didn't have a video done for you because of how depressed and how low I've been lately, which many of you know if you've watched my other videos. This morning I woke up feeling fantastic. I felt on top of the world. I woke up wide awake, ready to take my day by storm. As you can see, I'm wearing makeup, my hair is clean. I haven't felt this good in a very long time. And so today I wanted to talk to you about the switch from depressed to manic with someone who has bipolar, what that looks like, and what you can do to make sure that your friend or family member, or yourself if you have bipolar, is okay while they're going through that switch. So if that's something you want to know more about, please keep watching. So before we get into it, let's go over what this might look like. Many of us know what depression looks like, but not everyone knows what mania looks like. So mania is very different depending on the person. But some of the staple things that you may see is drug use, excess alcohol use, excess spending, going out, being promiscuous, generally just doing things they wouldn't normally do, as well as being very euphoric, very over the top, and not sleeping much, not eating much because they don't need it. So for me, I know that I'm starting to swing up into mania when I wake up before my alarms, not sleeping as much, but not feeling tired. That's a big thing. I don't generally eat a whole lot, but I don't realize it because I'm not hungry. I am very euphoric. I talk really fast. I talk very loudly. I'm very outgoing when usually I'm pretty introverted. And those are key triggers for me to realize, like, hey, something's going on. You need to evaluate what's happening, rein yourself back in. I did used to, before I was diagnosed, before I was treated, go very high into mania. I did used to drink a lot, go to clubs very often. I was promiscuous. I was very unstable for a very long time. But now, even when I go up, I never really hit full mania. I'm pretty much still in control, but I know that there is a switch going, and I'm aware of it because of how much self-reflection I've done since I was having those bad times. That isn't to say that the people who are manic aren't aware that they're manic. They know. You know when you're manic, but they don't want to stop. They don't want to stop feeling that way because it feels good to be manic. It feels amazing to be happy all the time, to have energy all the time, to feel like you can take over the world because nothing can stop you. It is an amazing feeling, especially when you just were in a depressive state where you didn't want to leave your bed. Feeling manic is so empowering, but it's scary if you can't rein yourself back in when you're starting to get a little bit too up there. The thing with bipolar is a lot of the times you do things while you're manic because it feels good, but then the realization hits, and that realization is what sets you off into a downward, into a depression. That's happened to me many times when I was very manic before. I once spent $25,000 on a credit card while I was manic, and then I realized I don't have a job. How am I going to pay this off? And that put me into a very serious depression that lasted a really long time. It was scary because I didn't know what I was going to do. And this is a very common realization that a lot of people who have bipolar go through. They do things while they're manic, not realizing how much it can affect them in the future, but then that realization hits them, and then they're like, shit, now what do I do? And then that sets off a depression because they don't know where to go from here. A lot of people, they mess up their marriages or their relationships because they're being promiscuous. They spend a lot, like me, I spend a lot of money when I'm manic, and then now I'm out of bankruptcy now, but I was in bankruptcy because of it. That's a realization that people who have bipolar deal with. It's scary. It's really, really scary. So you may be saying, well, just don't go spend money, just don't go be promiscuous, just don't go out and go drinking. And that may be common sense, that may make sense to not do those things if that's what's causing you issue, but it's not that easy when someone, especially when someone is manic. My boyfriend has tried to stop me many a times when I was manic and I was about to go to the club for the third day in a row. I got angry at him. I'm like, you can't tell me what to do. Excuse you? Who do you think you are? When I'm manic, I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to. I don't care what it's going to do because that's how my mind works at the time. And people who have bipolar have a mental illness. It is a mental illness, and without being treated, they're not going to just snap out of it and be like, damn, you know what? You're right. I should just not go spend money. Why didn't I think of that? Like, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's just like when people tell people who are depressed, just feel better, just be happy. It's not how it works, unfortunately. I wish it did work that way because a lot of people would have things a lot easier if it was that easy. But like with any mental illness, there's a lot more to consider than just don't do that. I went off on a little bit of a tangent there. I apologize about that. So if you suspect that a friend or a loved one may be starting to go manic, the best and really the only thing that you can do for them is support them. You could let them know, hey, I think that you might be going manic, maybe something to think about. Keep your actions in the front of your mind. Make sure you're being focused on what you're doing because I'm worried about you. If they're manic, they may tell you to go F yourself. It can happen, but just let them know that you're there for them. If you yourself have bipolar and you think that you might be going manic, my best advice for you is just to try to be conscious of what you're doing and try not to make any big life decisions while you are manic, or if you have to, talk to someone before you make them, because that is really the only way you're going to be able to control your impulses and hopefully make it out of mania without doing any damage to yourself, to your life, to your future. Not everyone is self-destructive, but I know I am, so just please consider it. I will more than likely do more videos on mania in the future because it's not something that's talked about as often as depression. Depression is usually what people see because when someone is manic, they're happy and don't want to be treated. That is why so many people who have bipolar get misdiagnosed with having depression because they only really seek help when they're depressed because they're loving life when they're manic. But that is it for today. I just wanted to shine a little bit of light on what mania is because I woke up and I knew my switch has been flicked over, and I wanted to share with you guys what mania looks like and just give you a little bit of tidbit information for that today. So thank you for watching. Remember to be kind to others, but most importantly, be kind to yourself. And bye for now.